So you've discovered what you're constantly looking for. You're looking for positive words that are going to help you really.
Absolutely. Okay. And the people that also don't use positive words, they suck the life right out of the room. As soon as I said that, one of you guys that's out there, you guys thought of someone in your life that sucks the air out of the room.
I've noticed that there's people that will walk into a room at a doctor's office or in an elevator or at your home, and they can just take that room down.
Absolutely.
How are you doing? Oh man, things are getting bad, things are getting worse. And here's one challenge I'd have for every entrepreneur watching this, is do you talk about the future in positive terms, or do you talk about the past only in positive terms? So it's like, well, the good old days. Do you believe that every year can be better than the next, better than the last?
Absolutely.
Or do you believe that last year was the best it's ever going to be?
Absolutely.
And I think those are some things you can ask yourself. Now, how can saying a positive or negative words affect your decision to hire or promote somebody? So you have a guy who says negative words on the floor or says positive words on the floor. How does that affect your determination as to who you should promote or hire?
Well, for one, as a leader, it's your job to inspire people. That's part of what your job is. I mean, John Maxwell says the definition of a leader is influence, period. Mm-hmm. Okay? Unfortunately, you got stinky leaders who are going to tear your team down, and you need positive leaders. And so, for me, if I see somebody using those positive words and encouraging people, for one, they're going to get their job done faster, they're going to get it done better, they're going to get it done and have better results.
Have you ever promoted somebody, like two people are the same, quality-wise, in terms of their actual ability to do the job, but one person is positive and another person's negative?
Yep.
You have promoted people for being positive.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Because, frankly, they're the ones that step up.
How can positive or negative words affect your ability to raise capital? If I'm an entrepreneur right now and I want to raise capital for my business to start it or grow it, how can negative or positive words affect that?
Well, when you're positive and you're thinking those things, whether you're standing in your mirror and going, you're good looking, and as I say this kind of joking or whatever, but yet, that you're saying those positive things, when you walk into that meeting for capital, you're more confident about what you're doing. If that person walks in there and they've already shot themselves down before they even got out of the car, they're going to walk in there, and everybody kind of puts off an energy. You know how somebody walks into the room and you're like, that guy's got it together.
Yeah.
The same goes for the guy who walks in and goes, that guy doesn't have anything going on for him. And it's not about judging, that you just can kind of feel it.
What about the old yawn guy? The guy who shows up to your work meetings and yawns all the time?
Oh, it drives me crazy. He certainly affects you, because then what? Everybody around him is yawning.
Yeah, like I'll be real. It pisses me off when people yawn all the time at work. It affects the people around them. And I love the guy who's always clapping, or he's excited, or he's like, hey man, how you doing? I like the guy who brings that energy.
Well, and the reality is that's a choice. They get to make the choice on, am I going to exert that energy to go, hey, how's it going? Or am I just going to sit there and go, hey, and it takes a little bit of effort. And I think it's important that the successful people are the people that are willing to put the effort in.
I've noticed that a lot of times with you, I've seen you do some huge events. I remember about 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago, you did your first hamster ball race.
Yes.
Where you bought all these massive hamster balls. What, they're about 6 feet tall?
9 feet tall.
9 feet tall. You shipped them in from China?
I did.
And you shipped them in crates. They show up here, and then people can race inside these hamster balls to raise money for charity.
Yeah.
And I saw you when you'd probably been up all night the night before. I saw you. It was cold.
It was cold.
You'd been up late, and I know that you decided to be positive.
Yeah.
I said, how are you doing, brother? And you're like, great. Things are taking off. But could you imagine if when the media interviewed you, because the media, they put the cameras right on you that day.
Yeah.
And they said, how are you? You're like, well, I've been up all night. I just hope I make it through it. It's not a story. It's not something people are excited about.
That's right.
And you chose to speak those positive words.
That's right. And that's why that event was successful.